And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. Jerry Kraus is our guest, Executive Director at the Stanley Theater. And when he's not doing that, he's also on the radio, 92.7 The Drive, Sundays, 9 to 12, The Recovery Room, yes?
Yeah, I've been doing that for quite a while now, probably over 6 years, doing the Sunday morning show. Prior to that, took some time off from radio. I was working at the Stephen Swan Humane Society for a while. And then before that, I did 30 years in local radio.
Oh, I know.
We cross paths a lot.
Yep. And you're on the Recovery Room with Frank Furno.
Yeah, he's just recently retired from Oneida County. He's an attorney, and he's a great right-hand man for me. When we're talking about old music trivia, and of course we recap, what's going on with Syracuse basketball, and it's a fun show. It's a quick 3 hours.
Yeah, you're going to keep that up?
Yeah, I'm going to keep that up because it's very enjoyable for me, and it's kind of in my blood.
Yeah. Upcoming events at the Stanley, what do we got in the near future?
Well, in the near future, we've got a lot of these weekend dance competitions. These are sometimes events that fly under the radar, but we have regional dance competitions that families with dancers and children in the dance programs regionally and locally, they'll know all about. We go a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday weekend for one tournament. We've got, I think, 7 coming up in the spring. And they take over and they start dancing on stage. They've got judges. The families come in town, Joe. The hotels are filled, restaurants are filled, coffee shops, shopping centers. It really is an economic boost for this area.
It's like these hockey tournaments. You know, people don't realize the number of people that come to town for these tournaments.
And they're in from Rochester. We talked to them all. Albany, Syracuse, Binghamton. They come from downstate. They're coming from out of state. It's really fantastic. We serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have the competition going from about 7:30 in the morning to about 11 at night, so all day. And we're in there, our volunteers, we couldn't do it without them. They're helping us with all the manpower, and we have our staff on hand. And it's really something. Once you walk in and see this going on, it's a well-oiled machine that these dance competitions put together.
Are they open to the public?
Yeah, they're open to the public, and it's on stage, as you can imagine, so these young students of dance, they come out and their eyes are wide open. They're on the big Stanley stage, and they're doing their dancing, and they're getting critiqued, and there's awards and trophies and things. And we've got, last year I think we did 5. This year we're doing 7 weekends. That's a lot coming up. Have some other shows coming up. The Cirque Acrobats are coming back. That's going to be March 22nd. Tickets just went on sale for that, so we're going to take care of that.
Now, is that a Stanley event or a Broadway theater?
No, that's a rental. A different promoter out of the Elmira area is bringing that in. We've worked with him in past Cirque Acrobat shows. Then we have the Progressive Rock concert that's coming on Saturday, April 13th. A band from downstate that does the early Genesis music. Opening the show, we've got our local musicians, and I love putting these guys and gals together, the Central New York All-Stars. So they'll be doing some progressive rock music from bands like Pink Floyd and Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and then they'll take a break, we'll do an intermission, then the band that does the early Genesis with the costumes and all the great progressive rock, they were in town last year, and it's a fantastic progressive show. They'll be out April 13th. We have a youth show, PJ Masks, that's going to be on May 1st. We have the Police Academy graduation also coming in. The Irish Center is going to have the Grand Marshal's reception at the Stanley again.
Passing of the Shillelagh.
The passing of the Shillelagh.
Yeah.
Mr. John Sullivan is going to be the new parade marshal.
Grand Marshal, yeah.
So we want to congratulate him and the family.
Yeah, well deserved. He's, for those that don't know, he's the contractor for the Irish Cultural Center.
Great family.
Yeah, and done a great job down there.
I've known them for a while. I actually went to high school with his brother, and I know the family. And we're all happy that the Sullivans are involved in the parade this year. They're involved all the time anyway, with the Cultural Center.
Yeah, and of course it's outside the Stanley that the painting of the Green Line goes on too.
We have the reviewing stand and the city bandstand right in front of the Stanley. So when it comes time for the parade, we invite people to come in, get warm in our vestibule. Our volunteers are selling coffee, hot chocolate, donuts, muffins, popcorn.
The Stanley's acts, the Stanley's performances, who's making those decisions? Is it strictly your decision?
The shows that we book, yes, but then there's shows that come in, say for example the Bob Dylan show. That was another outside promoter called well in advance, and what they ask for are a hold on a couple dates. So we take the calendar, we block those days that they're interested in, then they circle back and we circle back to them. How's the show coming? Because somebody else is looking for that date. We either have to get the show booked, take a contract deposit, or open it up for the next person. And when they told me that it was going to be a potential Bob Dylan show, we were very excited. I mean, you don't get a caliber act like a legend, like Hall of Famer Bob Dylan to come through all the time. So we were very lucky last year. We had that show, and then the following month we had Jerry Seinfeld come back. So those are two very big days. So the word's getting out that the Stanley Theater is, again, open for business, viable, selling lots of tickets. We sold out both of those shows. Once that word gets out, Joe, to the promoter, they now put us back on the radar and say, when they're putting shows out there on the road, they say, let's not forget about Utica and the Stanley Theater.
What's the, in your time at the Stanley, what's the biggest draw that we've ever had? I think I know the answer to this, but...
The biggest draw for one single show?
Yeah.
Well, the last two shows I mentioned, those two concerts, the Bob Dylan show and the Seinfeld show, sold out. Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, she sold out one show in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then she's actually sold out twice. John Mellencamp came in, sold out. We've had big concerts with REO Speedwagon and Michael McDonald. Those are shows that we did.
Wouldn't the Four Seasons show be up there too? They did too.
The Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys.
Jersey Boys came through with Broadway a few years back, and they did a rehearsal here. And they did 4 nights, and while they didn't individually sell out, there were big crowds, and that was a fantastic 4-day run. Plus, we had them in for a week or two for a rehearsal before that, and that was great. And we were so lucky to have that type of a show come in.
You know, I saw I just happened to be watching some movies the other night, and the Clint Eastwood movie of Jersey Boys was on. I'd never seen the movie.
Oh, no.
It was nothing compared to the singing and the dancing was so much better on the Stanley stage.
The tour was just fantastic,
The what a lot of people don't understand is the relationship between the Stanley and the Broadway Theater League.
Yeah, it's a long relationship. It's over 60 years. And Broadway rents the theater from us, and they bring their shows in. They go and book the Broadway performances. Some of them are involving a tech show, a rehearsal, so they'll come in for a couple weeks. They take over the whole theater, and during those weeks, they rehearse.
Yeah.
They rehearse, and they rehearse, and they get it all ready to go. They'll preview a couple shows right here in Utica, and then they pack it up and hit the road.
And the Stanley isn't in danger of losing any money there because it's the Broadway Theater League that's promoting it, but you don't make as much money either.
It's a rental for us, so we have relationships with other promoters, like the Bob Dylan concert was a rental. So some of the shows we do promote ourselves, and others we provide the Stanley Theater as a rental house.
Okay. When we come back, we're going to be talking some more with Jerry Kraus, and I think he's got a present.
I got a gift for you, Joe.
All right, well, we've got to get to that before we run out of time. Short break, right back.